Hi, welcome to class again. Today we're going to look at the interior of the Earth, and basically the interior of the Earth, we're going to look at earthquakes and how that happens. So one of the things is, as we talked before in the plate tectonics class, is that as these plates move apart, move towards, or move side by side, that this movement causes ripples. And I think one of the things is we see the earth as something so solid that we don't realize it's a material that can have ripples in it. And these ripples, as it moves, and if it's stuck and it moves, it has a sudden jolt, that creates these very large ripples. So an example, if you were, or this is a good example, my webcam is on my computer, which is on my desk. Now, it's still right now, but if I banged on it, whoops, see, there was a shift. And this shift not only went through the table, but went through the monitors all the way to the webcam, and thus shifted my webcam. This is exactly how an earthquake works. An earthquake is when there's a jolt as it moves, because it might have reached a sticking point, and then it moves apart in a sudden movement. And it could be just an inch, 5 inches, whatever. This is a very large piece of earth and it's moving even that little bit. So that creates these waves through the material. And these waves can travel through the earth, through the mantle, sorry, not the mantle. It can move through water, or it can move even through different parts of the mantle. So there's two different types of waves. There of the seismic waves. There are primary waves and there are secondary waves. The primary waves can actually move through different parts of mantle, and they can actually move through the core of the earth, but they get refracted. That's the only thing, because it's even though the mantle is liquid, the core is solid, so it gets refracted slightly. The secondary waves do not move through the core, but they can move through the mantle. So this is one way earthquakes have been studied in different parts of the earth. Another thing that happens is, oh wow, weird. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my own slides. I think I missed some slides. So then there's I don't know if we're supposed to learn this in this class, but I will tell you anyway. So there's the primary waves and there's the secondary waves, and some of the waves move up and down, and then there's some earthquakes that move side to side, and you can feel the difference. Then there's the primary wave, which happens, and then the secondary wave always happens also. And that is what usually we call the aftershock, but it's a secondary wave. And I think that is all you really need to know about this, about interior of the earth. Not just about earthquakes though. You know about the outer core, the inner core, the mantle, and the crust. So the core is solid, the mantle is the liquid outer mantle, and then on top of it all is this thin crust. And if you look at an apple, the core of the apple is just like our core. The mantle is the apple, the part that we actually eat, and the crust is the skin of the apple. So it is that thin. That is how thin the crust is, and that's what we live on. And we think it's so solid and there to protect us, but it can crack at any time. So that is all I have for you in terms of interior of the earth. See you next class.